Just go over it again. Now we have what's called a class, and a class is a blueprint of objects in that. Now, basically, we have created a class right now, which is called human. Then this human have a name and age, but this age is encapsulated, which means it's hidden. It is private class. It's private properties. Now we have what is called a method. A method is just a kind of function that we use in class. Anytime a function is inside a class, we call it method, not just a function again, because they are inside of a class. Now, can talk and can work are methods. I got another one called getter and setter. Getter is used to get a specific data that maybe is hidden, or you want to do something with it before you send it out, or you want to do anything with it. Just like you can really have a kind of um, the way I have it for this one, also by saying this um, return, like have a kind of expression, say return um, um, what is zero. Can I return zero? No, I can't return zero. Already, I already have return keyword here. But I can just have any kind of expression there. Uh, Let me say age plus 45 minus 2. Now I need to first of all do this. And then you know that this guy is non-able. If it is none, you cannot plus anything to none. So I need to say, okay, if it is none, give me 0 before you can work. Now, all this expression can only work on when you have a private property. It's not based on what get is just all about now. And we have another one called setter. Now, setter is also a concept we use in OOP to actually ensure that we can set the data and have a free will on the data. Now, according to this our age and our example here, we have what is called age that is being given to us as a setter, and this age is going to plus 2 before we assign to our real age. So now, and anybody that want to get our age, we have plus 49 minus 3. So now, what that means is that I'm going to have 42, then plus 49, then minus 3 for as my answer. Now, that's not what I assigned to the age, but I'm actually getting on that thing because it is a getter and a setter. But if it's just normal variable that we usually do, we cannot assign a to this my name and be expecting on that thing. It won't work. You get that? You cannot assign a to this my variable and be expecting another thing. It will not work. So that is that. So the last I want to talk about now is actually basically what I want to talk about is called inheritance and extending. Now, as a class that is human like this, a property that belongs to a species. We have different kind of human, different kind of species. We have male, we have female, we have those that have female and male. I don't know if that exists. Doctor can tell us that they exist. So now we have male and female. Now basically both of them are human beings, but they have different behaviors. They have different properties, even though they come from one origin, which is called human. So now, because of that, now we have what is called a class that we are going to make use of. Now, what we can do now, because both of them they can talk and they can walk, but one of them have maybe capacity for responsibility, other have capacity for enjoying. They like soft life, other people like other gender. Am I lying, Pastor? They like soft life. But the other one, they can give like the other gender, they can give kappa, they can give their soft life for anything to just ensure that they give soft life for the other gender. So now let's now have what is called a male. Now because we have male like this, I'm going to say a class. I say male. I won't really go much on this. Now, if I say extend, that this extend means that I'm inherit a class that is coming from that. I want what this class have, like I want what human have. Though I have my own capacity, I have my own differences, I have my own thing that I'm doing, I want what I love. but I still want what human have. Like human can talk, age of human is hidden, name is human have name. I don't need to call him, I have him name again, human have. So that kind of thing, that's what we are talking about. Now, if I say human like this, now because human like this as a constructor, now it really makes sense because human constructor is non-able, is not compulsory. Like if I remove this guy from here, like if I remove this square bracket, now another thing I don't talk about is that this square bracket I put makes this guy to be non-label or not required as a positional argument. Now, if I remove it there, it's going to make this guy to have error because this guy now is depend on this human, and this woman is depend on this guy to actually give it what is expected. Now, what is expected is what is called a data, and this data is from a constructor. And because it's from constructor, this may also has to construct this data. So something I say create a constructor called super. Now by calling this nine, so I have what is called a super. And the constructor is not from male, it's not from anything. Just because I've extended this guy, I have a superpower that is over me that I need to satisfy, or super human, or super my parents. I need to satisfy them. I also need to show my name. I need to ask for name so that I can give it to my parents. Now, which is this super. Now, as soon as I assign a data to this super, automatically it's assigned to this one because I'm calling super here. Now I can say I don't want to call this super. I don't want to have this name automatically because I'm male now. I need to add something to myself. Now I have what's up G. I can say okay. Now if you don't want to do that, you can say oh it's okay. I can say I want to just take a name string name like this. That makes sense. Now I will not say okay. Anybody anytime I call I say I have a colon. By saying colon, I want to call on super. Now by calling on super, I call a super function. And this super function can take a data. Now, this data I want to give it a data that I have here, which is dollar sign name, dollar sign name, then plus another thing. I will say, maybe that one will give me Ibukun. I'm going to say Ademola or Ibukun mail. Like I can use that Ibukun mail. So now what that means is that we have another super function that we can use if you don't want to assign it inside of it like that. That is super function that you can use like just to ensure that. But what happened about this super function is that this guy is not constructing outside this place, he's constructing inside of this place. Now, this guy is going to call on mail here for assigning to it. It's not just saying as soon as you create mail, no. As soon as you create mail, yes, mail will call this itself. Itself will now call a super. So it's like three work. But the other one is just going to assign to itself and go to the one that the person that requires it, since mail does not require it, then go to the super straight. But now mail is requiring it. After you take it, you're going to go to super. I guess this will be kind of slower than the other. And that is what inheritance is all about. And that's all for OOP in this class. Then now we need to give it a data here. Just say since I have a demola there, I'm just going to call this guy. So now that will now bring me into another concept of another concept of um, now I've taught this in a class before. It's a concept of input and output. Avoid this soon. A concept of input and output. Now basically input and output is just a way we can receive the data and a way we can send back a data. Now there's a different way in your terminal here, in your terminal here, we can actually receive data based on um, you can receive data based on maybe stdi if you remember, or if you know it. If you don't know it, it's okay. I say stdi like this. Now before I can use stdi, I need to import what is called input and output. I say input, then I will say that. Now whenever I say that like this means that I'm bringing external up a packet that is not, now that is actually still that that ecosystem packages, but now, but it is not embedded in that file. That file does not have access to it. I need to bring it out anywhere it is in my SDK. I bring it inside my file to be able to use it. That's what we call packages. So now I bring the package in, which is IO, which is called input and output. Now, by calling input, I can access to stdin. Now, stdin, now that's what std in. So I say dot, now read line sync. Now it's going to read the line. Then because this guy is integer, but this is string, so I will need to just create another thing separately and say string, or I just call it var because that one can take any data. Var name. Now this is the number one way to receive data from that, or this receive from the terminal. Now and the one I want to talk about is actually the one that we receive a data from the server or from the internet or from the server. I don't know, is the server correct? From the server or from the internet. Now that one allow a request, allow you to take an input from a request and output with a request. So because we want to talk about the backend and do backend, I want to actually look at that. I will love if you are going to permit me to create a new project to actually talk about how I create FlintDart. If you're going to permit me, am I permitted? I'm going too far. People, your dad is not a talk, Mr. Faith. Not talk, normal. All of you, nobody permits, I just continue, Abby. Are you guys with me? Anyone? No, next week, Bawo. No, I'm just continuing. Like this, the class is continuing now. We are getting to that stage that it's getting more harder like this. So it's today. We're going to continue today. Are you tired? We are tired. I'm tired, though. Yeah. Yeah. The reason is because I want you to understand what requests and this thing, how it works in that, in real that, in that. So that will also make you to actually understand what actually doing. That's what happened. It's not. Let us stop. Let's stop that. We are going to use that as an example as case scenario. Maybe we should just study that then. What do you think? Let us study that. Yeah. Let's do something. So let's come here. I'm going to do this. Now, with our knowledge of what we have learned so far, we know that this guy is a class, right? This place is a class, right? Talk to me. Yeah, it's a class. Then we have what is called a with middleware, which is set true. Auto connect to database, auto connect to DB, auto connect to DB, false, enable Swagger development, true. Now, inside the after we did this is a Flint, and this is an object from this Flint from the class that we created that we learned before. Then after that, so this is an object that we learned before. So we have what is called the object, then dot route. Then after that, that is like a method inside of the Flint. If that makes sense. So after that, we now have what's called a add dot list. Now the main project, the main thing, the main essence in this thing that is this app dot listing. So now I'm going to go into this thing that now you can also do that. Now this is the application. This is the application itself. Now it requires something called lib here. Lib. And this lib is actually like your root folder. What are you using? Like this one, like this lib here. Oh, we have 15 minutes to go. So you can create a new link for us. Now we have. Are you with me? If you are with me, say yes. So So we have this route means, okay, where are you calling this Flint from? Like the part where you are calling this from. And the reason why we did this is because we want it to be very lightweight, that you can call it anywhere and make use of it anywhere. But now, because it's a framework, we keep growing and we discover that we should have a way of doing it. That's why we create a file for you. If we don't want to create a file, we want to just add it and be using it as a package. But now we have make it a very easy things for you to do and use. Now let's just continue like that. Oh, sorry. Now that is what the lib is doing. The view part where your view is all up is. Then now where we really have we really need to learn something before we go or before we move forward to start using it. It's actually the listing part. So we may come back in and use the listing part. Now, this is the listing part I really need to learn and understand how it works. So that this actually, if I have time, if I really have time, I can actually record a video and it's not only because of you guys, it's so that you can understand how input and output work in that in Flint. Not Flint in that generally, because it is that. Now, all this guy, now Flint is actually using env to get the port here. So now when you try to call on env, you get the port as something. Now all these one are just like env vide what they need to use before they start doing it. Now basically what we are doing is this on file. Now this now all of the engine or the capacity of FlintDart is actually this what is called HTTP server. Now HTTP server, that is what open up a connection for us to be able to send a request to. So this HTTP server, that's what bring up, like give us like it open up our DAT file to be able to listen to something. Now, when we listen to it, yes, it's a package from that. It's not from, it's from a IO package, that's IO from them. It's from them. So they're the one that create HTTP server. And they are this bind. What the bind is that I call on what is called internet address, and I call any IP address, which means the current one that I'm currently on. And this guy is going to take IP address where I am currently in, which is my local server. I'm currently my local server. And if I'm on maybe on a specific domain name now, like maybe a FlintDart like this. And this application also is created with FlintDart. This is what you are saying. Like, it is created with FlintDart. FlintDart is one that creates the front end and the back end by itself. Clap for FlintDart. So FlintDart creates the front end, the back end, with the help of HTML and CSS. But everything, no React, no NSJS, and FlintDart, HTML and CSS, and that's all. So now this guy, if it is on top of this my FlintDart here, anytime you call on this request, it's going to listen to the IP address that this guy is listening to and call on the port that we give to it. What is the port? The port is actually the one that you assign here. You assign in your env. It's in your env here. I don't want to leave this screen. Can I leave it? Yes, your env here. I've left it. It has gone back. Your env here. So where is? So there should be a port here. You put a port there. But if you don't put port there, it's going to give. Now you can also use this port also. So if there's no port here, it will try to get it from your env. If it does not find it here, you're going to use the default one, which is 30, 301, or 3001. Now, okay, so that is what is going to bind it with. Now, the shared means that are you actually listening to this specific thing? Like, are you actually listening to this thing? Or you are trying to I just actually listen to this place, or you can actually share, like if there's any other service that is open, you can share with this. I say yes, I can share with other services that is listing on my on this server. Who is this? Mr. I'm hearing my voice again. Okay, thank you. So that is what that and that is only thing that opened our system, our that code to receive any request from the server. And what request is and what is request? You should know request. If you don't know request, request is actually what a fly that's a language of the server or language of the web. So anytime you come to this place like this, you come to get like this, there's a request that go to the FlintDart application and FlintDart application see what you are trying to do and it respond back to you. And what's the response? The response is the introduction. If I press this installation, and then that request go to the backend. When they see what I'm trying to do, I want to get in installation. Okay, you say you need installation. Okay, take the installation details. So no, okay, that's good. I've installed it. I want to get what is called create and run. So say, okay, you have create, you want to create, okay, get it, it give it to me back. So now this what I'm doing now, this is what we call a request. As it's flying to the backend is responding back to it. And that is the communication. That's what we call input and output. So the input is what I send to the server, the output is what I get back. And that is what this what opened now for me. And it is very simple. Now, what I did next is that so if you allow us to, if you tell us to have what's called auto connect in your DB, I connect your DB for you in the background. Then I also auto connect. There's auto. I guess auto connect of this also is automatic. Auto connect of this guy is auto connect mail is also automatic. I load the mail config for you. Now all these guys are coming from your ENV. All the credentials are coming from ENV to use for you. So now because of that, it is the nature of um, what's the nature? Hot reload, yes. Because of hot reload, that's where we have what is called this signal to keep to shut it down. Now, if there's any error, any exception that happens, it's going to shut down the server automatically. Are you getting me? Now, this is going to keep listing. If anything happens, you can shut down the server and stop it. That's what this guy is doing. We're using to shut down the worker anytime you see anything. Now the really thing I want us to look at is that I want you to look at what is actually happening here is that this is your server here, right? Now in this place, there's what something called request, HTTP request. And this is not from in that, it's from that itself. Yeah, and the thing that is just making use of that. So this is request. Now request is I told you that request is actually what is going back and front. Now we can have like 1 million requests inside of this guy. Are you with me now? This is request. Now inside my HTTP server. Now in every request that is coming, I handle it. I handle the request here. In every request that is coming, I handle the request. Now what now? Let's look at the handling request. Now this is just basic how to create a server. Now if you attempt it, if you just maybe you are working, you are just attempting, just call HTTP server.bind in your main.dat the bind, then you bind it with your this also is from that any IP4 you give ports to it and you share can be forced so that it won't keep creating on that one. Now you then loop through the server like this by saying for request in server loop through that that's all. You're able to do that, you are able to actually create a server to keep running. Now, after that, now what we now have is undo request. Now, this one we check this request that we are sending to me is it an upgrade request? Upgrade request is in that is actually a kind of WebSocket request. Now, is it like a WebSocket request, like upgrade request that is expecting that is connecting us together? That want to connect us together. That will call upgrade request. So is it upgrade request? If you say yes, I'll just do this and stop. But if the request is not upgrade, then we're going to do something like this. Now, what did I do? For you to understand it very well, I call the request here. I create this map. This is a object created by FlintDart, not now that one is just to actually extract a HTTP request. So I won't be calling HTTP request of that every time. I'm going to create our own instance of request by ourselves. Then I create a response, and then there's also HTTP response from that itself also. I create a response for us to be able to make use of. Now, when I get the request, the um, request and response. So now this is just like this one is I did it in an upgrade to actually normalize the parts. Maybe you have double parts, you have four parts, everything. So you want to actually ensure that those parts you had, we can remove it, and that is just that one, by the way. Now, what we now do is that I try to match. Now, this one is getting more advanced now. I may need to stop very soon. I try to match what you are doing, this and that. Now, I try to match it with your request method, what you are looking for. Like, is this get, is it post, is it anything? The request method, the part that you are looking for, and the params. Now, if I look at it, if I get it, if I will not try to like check it in the pipeline. Pipeline means like I just want to check pipeline is just like the way things are going. I want to undo it and check maybe what you are doing is inside of middleware. If you have middleware, I want to check it. If there's any middleware I need to check from there. Now, if I did not find anything, now if all this that you give to me is not currently inside of my handler, I'm going to give you something called not found, not found. And if it is there, I will undo it. And that is what FlintDart is doing. It's just helping you to abstracting all those rubbish that they are saying and making it very look good for you. And this thing is just very simple. And if you try to just open, you can clone the repo. You can clone the repo. This repo is not correct. You can clone the repo and try to study it. And we welcome that. So this is the repo. You can clone the repo and try to study it. This repo is not correct. I need to correct it. So you can clone the repo. Let me send to the room for you guys. So you can clone the repo and try to just come here. Just come here and fork it, and that's all. Fork it. It's going to create inside your own brand, your own this thing. So you can study it, even add features to it, and do anything. So it's open source. I hope that's clear, guys. Is that clear? So then we are going to move forward. Let's move forward. Now we are talking about, we understand what requests is. Requests send data to the front end and back end. Now there are different type of requests that we can make. Now we have it's not only in Flint, in general requests, we have what is called app.get. That was called get request. You said? Okay. Okay. You can create it and send it to the WhatsApp group. Okay, sir. Yeah. Okay. Now we have different type of requests when it comes to a framework in request at all. So are you with me? We have that kind of request. I thought that request is what is fly that you communicate with your that you use to communicate with your a maybe backend or anything, a server like that. Let me use HTTP server. That the best language that I want to use is HTTP server. So it is request to use to communicate with them. And inside of HTTP server, there are going to be a lot of requests that has been sent to it, and it's going to keep doing it as soon as it is alive. Now there are different kind of requests, and that actually make it very easy. And if there is no flame that you need to be doing it one by one, be checking the request, checking if it is gets, if it is new to them. But now thing that does not do that. You just have what's called app that is dot get dot get. Now it takes a part. Which part are you going to? I want to go to home part. Now there's home part in this app route. There's home part here, so we won't be going to home part from here. So I'm going to be commenting this out. Now in the home part, there's something called handler. Handler is what it handle. I guess so that was called this like this, then this. So then, so what next we need is actually there is a property that this guy take. I don't know, it's not required again. So you need to just say you take what's called a context. So context like this, then con like this. This my boy has left in my hand though. So you guys are not going to allow me to go and put him down. You can just give it a context. So I'm going to use this CXT. So now in this context, it has three things that is very unique. You have what is called the request. You say rec like this. So it's equal to context that just creates dot. You have what's called a request. It has what's called a response. And also it has what is called a socket. Now, all these guys are created because the reason why we have context is because we don't want you to have a lot of things that you're going to be learning to do things. So you just have to understand this context, what it has, and where to use them, and you're able to do WebSocket and any other thing that you want to do. We even make it very easy that you won't be calling context inside of your controller. If you look at my controller here, there is no context here. I'm going to be usable for you outside this, but you won't be calling context again after you leave this out. But it's okay. So let's just continue. Now, now as soon as I receive a response, a request from what is called a get in my home directory, because my own directory means that I don't have another part. The first directory that you see or the port I'm listening to, as soon as I get any request from there, what am I doing? I'm saying back to the user, I'm saying respond or return. I'm saying return context dot response. My response is nullable. Then I'm going to say, what am I returning back? I'm going to say send. I say hello world. Because it's nullable, you need to have what is called question mark there. So now, what I will need to do now, I need to actually run this project so that I can make use of it. I need to run it. So to run it, I will just come to my terminal here. I will cd into my project, which is backend. Then inside this back, I'm going to say Flint. I think Flint is going to run the project for us. So he's running it. He said auto load is enabled. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I have issue. There's issue here. The issue is that my port has been used. So I have issue with that. I can't be able to use the port. Oh, I'm able to use it. I'm able to use it. Socket only uses for socket and protocol. Okay, it's not an error. But it's not an error. I can use it. So let us now we come here. Please give me a minute. I want to go and take this boy. I want to go and put him down so he can sleep. Okay. Okay, I'm back, guys. So now, can you see what he said to me? He said, hello, world. Now, because I have what is called the slash here. Now, that is a request of get. Now, what do we use get to do? We use get as the name sound. He said we use get to get something from the server. Sometimes you want to make a get request, you want to like withdraw something, or you want to get something from the server. Now, we're going to try another get. But this get is going to be um, going to the hello part. Hello part. Inside the hello part, I want to say I'm from hello. I'm from hello. If I come here, now what I just do, I just say forward slash after my link, I say forward slash part. Sorry, I said part. It should be what? It should be. Eh, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not inside. I'm not inside code. I'm inside my. Yes, yes, sir. I wanted to see. Did you change the parts? I create another one. Okay, so that's. So I now can you see when I say hello, and the response I give back to the caller is actually hello world. I'm from hello. Now, if I come to my normal hello, there is hello, just hello. I come to slash hello, there is hello world, I'm from hello. Now that is just basic request. Now we can also there's something also called parameter, and all this I'm explaining, you can actually learn it from this guy. Now all this I'm explaining, this is what I'm going to just explain. Now when we get to I finish this explanation, I'm not going to come back. I'm going to go to Flutter application and start doing things. And we'll be doing things with each other. So it's not going to this explanation is just for today and maybe tomorrow. Even today, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. So by maybe in our next lab, even tomorrow, I'm going to finish it today. I pray I finish today. So the other thing I want to learn, you can just come here and learn it. And in route, this way you need to actually spend more time in this route if you want to learn with it. Now, this is what I'm trying to do here. And this is what I'm trying to do. In route here, there's what's called slash, and then you say status okay. Now this one send JSON back. And I want to use this. And if I copy it and say now the difference between send and JSON is that JSON is a kind of data you receive from the front end. And if I refresh it, I'll come back to hello. Oh, my server is still restarting. And don't forget, this thing restart automatically, and it's not really like as fast as you may think. So it's just I guess it has restarted already. So when I say hello, status okay. And there's something called look at this, it's called ID. So I've copied this also. So you can just play around that place. You're not a beginner in that. I've explained a lot of things to you today. So I will just paste it here. There's something called user, then ID. Now this is what we call params. Params is when someone is sending parameter to you from the front end. So now param is just like a data that is sent outside this guy. Now this guy, all this that you're saying here, this is guide, and this thing, they are params. Yeah, because they change. Guide is constant. Other people change over time. So I'm not creating them one by one. I just said that every time you send a request to me, you send a params called routing, give the user this. That's what this guy is saying. Now, what I'm also saying is that okay, anytime you send what is called ID of one for me, maybe one or two, I want to return back the one that you gave to me, or whatever you gave to me. So I'm going to come here and say slash user. And that's what param is all about. Slash user, then slash the param. You can see 70. Oh, is that non-able? Is that none? I guess I make a mistake here. This is users, not user. And that is what param is. That's what we call params. So can you see, give me back the data. So now what we usually use params to do is that We used to receive something from user. I get it now. This is to come from user. Now the other one come query. Let's come to use space. Query now. Where is query here? Oh, this is post. Let me see this query. This is params. Query and this is query. Now if I copy it like this, if I paste it here. Now this is query. Now my exercise is going to be I'm going to have let's use it. Let's do it. Yeah. So how am I going to say something to query in query like that? I'm going to say user like this. That question mark. It's also the same thing that Google use. They use query. We start it on Google, they will query it. And now first parameter I'm querying in this place is page. You can see page. So page is equal to 20. Then the next one is now if you want to say the next one, you say and like this. The down is limit. Limit is equal to 50. Now maybe you want to take a data from the back server now. You need query and parameter to say, okay, I'm going to page 50, I'm going to page 20, and I want to take a 50 data from that place. So this is what you can use. Maybe you also want to maybe return a data, you can take a query and maybe you want to use search selector, all those things. That's what we use it for. Now we are going to make use of it later, and that's when you're going to understand it more. And that is that. So now context also request. What does request have? Yeah, you can read about this thing. Now context actually unify that's the reason why we even use context. We change it to context. Before it is rec and response. If you have watched our old YouTube video, and they are still working, you can still use them like that. But it's rec and response. But now we use context to unify the HTTP request and sockets. And so with this context, it's going to be very easy for us to also add some advanced requests to it, like other advanced requests that. So now in this our request, now we're talking about response. What we have and request. This is also a request. We have what is called JSON. Now JSON is what we use to parse a data from user, basically. Now I really want you to guys to dwell in this, but I can't really I can't really send data, but let me try it. Now for you to send a data like this, I need something called a client to be able to send a data like this. A client that can make a request. And to use that kind of client, I'm going to use what's called Thunder client. Thunder client is actually a lightweight client that you can use to make a request. I'm going to make a new request. Very easy. And I'm going to say the request is actually, let me just copy what I have here. So this client can also make any request for me. If I send the request, I can actually give me the same response I'm receiving on my browser. Then the request I want to make currently now is basically this just user, but it's a post request. I'm going to send the data back to us, and data is going to be sent back to me. So let's try that. So I'm going to have a user, okay, client here, yeah. So I'm going to have a user. I can just duplicate it. I will duplicate this. I will come here. Then I'm going to have just a user. Then inside of the user, I'm going to change this space to request. Now you can change all this request. All the request that is here, I can change it to what I want, which is post. Then I have a body. Now if you look at this guy in our documents, now JSON, the JSON that we have here, actually the JSON that we have here actually pause a JSON body. It pauses to JSON to body for us to make use of. So I won't be able to, you won't be converting it yourself. Like I think that I already done a lot of things for us. Now I want to send the JSON format back to the FlintDart so I think I can say something. So now in JSON we have name, then IBK. So we can use this instead of post, right? Yeah? I mean, you can use this instead of postman. Yes. It's also like Postman.
And also, sir, also for the post, you don't need to write all the JSON inside the app to post here. You just need to call it that.
Where?
But that's not in the code. In the code, it's here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to add anything. Just call on request.json.
All right.
So now this JSON.
I should not confirm the.
No, you're going to know. Should I talk about this one? The validation here.
Huh?
I thought about something like this that we did the other time. So guys, are you guys with me? So this is actually like a client that we use to test our data. Hello, can you guys hear me? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So now we can send. Oh, okay. Is that not disconnected? Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
When I was asking about, I didn't go my answer already. I think that you were going to write the JSON inside the code.
No.
I sure that you are requesting for it.
Yeah. What happened is that it is client that send data to me. I receive the data. Now, if I want to make sure that I'm going to be doing, maybe I want to validate it before I receive. I want to ensure that you send what I expect. I'm going to do that one later. But at least that we can send a post request to our server. Now, I just want to understand what we're doing. So this post request take the JSON, then we have a token. If you send a bearer token, now we don't send bearer token. Now we can't see, we don't say anything. If you go back there, where is it? This guy. Yeah, you said there's no bearer token. Now if you want to send bearer token, you just come to auth here. You come to barrier. You don't put your token. Don't put any token there. If I send it now, can I see what I send is here now? And the thing that has done all these things for you, you don't need to do anything. It has given you everything that you need. Bearer token, it has to wait to get it. You don't try to extract anything, it has extracted for you. And the thing that is very good and sweet to learn. Am I right? So just copy bearer token now. If you want to get the IP address, the IP address we are using is actually localhost. So you should be able to have get that one already. I don't just check it before. So can I see the address, localhost, your home host. So that is FlintDart for you, and that's how to make a post request. And you can all do that, others also with this. You can also read about it. Go ahead and read this, guys. You're going to understand it more. So you use write response method based on what you are returning. So you are returning a plain text, you use send. You are returning a JSON, you use JSON. You are returning a response. This guy in fact actually look for what you are doing and try to do what you actually look at what you are doing and try to quickly do what you want. Like if you send text to it, it will change the text for you. If you send JSON, if you send HTML, it will change HTML for you. That is what this guy does. There's another one called view, and this view response, that's what we use to send a Flint view, because Flint that has a view also. If you come to view here, can you see the logo of FlintDart? Can you see the logo of FlintDart there in a VS Code? Can you see that? Clap for FlintDart too. So now, so now we have HTML. You can write your HTML and CSS inside of FlintDart. You can see if you have your template engine that you can use also, and we learn that later. But I'm not going to be able to teach you that one. But you can really like explore that. So all these things, and now there's another one called validation, and this one we're going to talk about it later. Now, FlintDart does not don't just say that FlintDart is just very sweet. You just write everything like this. It's sweet. The way you're seeing that it's very sweet. Unless we will be sweating very soon in the class very soon. Even some of you are not going to come to class again. That's what I'm promising you guys. Anybody that finish the class, you're going to get t-shirts for me. I'm going to give you FlintDart t-shirts. Some of you don't going to come to class again because it's still going to get tedious. Who just left now? Okay. So I want to give you a t-shirt if you are able to finish the class. Are you with me, guys? So FlintDart does not just FlintDart is very sweet. It allows you just to type everything. No, 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 no. There is a way we also do things in FlintDart. FlintDart also have something called what is it called? That's something called the way you can structure your code there. The way to show your code. So I want you to guys to read through this place as an assignment. Read through request, middleware, go through middleware also like this as your assignment. Read through middleware. Or should we use middleware now? Guys, talk. Should I teach you middleware?
Yes. Yes, sir. Let's have that before we. Let's have that, sir.
Before we close for today, Abby.
Mine.
So now let's do middleware. Now, what is middleware basically? Middleware is just like a guide. Let's assume that I want to draw again. Can I see my drawing? Let's assume this is your client. This is your server. Like where your code lives, or where your code is living. Are you with me? Now, this is your client. Are you with me? You are with me, right? So this okay. So this your client want to send a data, like want to send a request to this guy. Now, what I've been doing now, there is nothing that is checking us. What I've been doing so far, you just send the request and that's all. But now, if you come to middleware, middleware is going to stop you here. You say, oh guy, stop there. Let's call it police. Does it make sense? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So police is going to arrest your client. Not like arrest like that, but it's going to tell you, oh guy, wait, what do you want? What do you want? You say, oh, I want to tell to this guy. What do you want to say? I want to say this. I want to do this. Like maybe like Dorcas like this now. If a guy comes to your house, your daddy will like, what do you want? What do you want? Say, I want to see. I want to say, Dorcas, what do you want to see my daughter for? You now start explaining. You start explaining what you want to do. You start explaining. So when maybe the guy actually like maybe guy say, okay, you want to collect book, Abi? Which school do you attend? Where are you coming from? Are you sure you're a good person? Are you sure the question that they see that, oh, this boy is a good person? Well, who is your father? Say, my father is a pastor. Who's your mother? My mom is a prophet. Oh wow, okay. Now this I gonna say, okay, you are done. Don't worry, I will call my daughter for you. This guy say, okay, let me call my daughter. Now call this daughter. So you are now going to allow this guy to go to the daughter through this guy. So the police is going to arrest this client first and go to the server because of. I hope you understand that. So that's why we call it middleware. So it's going to be intermediary between your client and your server. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Because it makes sense, Tabi, because it has happened to you before.
Yes, sir. How?
Hey, now someone will come to your house. It has happened to me very well before. Someone will come to my house. Before you walk to that person, if you don't pass, you cannot enter. You need to explain why are you here. You want to collect book? Which book? Chemistry book. Chemistry. GSC is doing chemistry. It's a lie. No, the boy you have to explain everything. Let me say, me I'm the boy now. I have to explain everything before they allow me to enter the house. Who is your daddy? My daddy is a pastor. Are you sure? Yeah, my daddy is a pastor. They are the one that own this church there. We are living at the back of the house. Yes, that's where we are living. You are coming from that place. You don't have mother. I have mother. So you need to explain everything and explain before. Yeah, that's what middleware does. When your client is coming to come and maybe you come and make a request, middleware will wait. You say, wait there. What do you want? Check you. Okay, if you can access it, it allows you. If you cannot access it, you say no. You can't do that. You cannot access it. Does that make sense to us? So one of the thing that we can do, or one of the way I actually used to explain it is that we are going to create a new middleware like this. I'm going to call it int underscore middleware. Dot that, Abby. And we can also use Flint SCLI to create middleware. Let's use that. Just come to terminal like this. cd to that backend. So I will say Flint dash make dash middleware. I'm just praying that it should be latest version. Middleware, and I want to call it int pass middleware. Now can I see this guy created int pass middleware for us? Can I see that? So you can use this guy to create middleware. So you can use since Flint CLI. A lot of CLI is available in Flint that make your work to be easier. Flint is very sweet and simple. So can I continue, guys?
So, sir, I said I should name it. It should be named by according to the
What you want to do? Yeah, that's the best approach. We are going to be having. That's going to be the best approach because you're going to be having a lot of projects. Now, what I want to do here in this integer this thing, now I'm going to say that any look at this guy here. Look at parameter here. We send the parameter. Oh, let me use this guy. Now we send the parameter here. Yeah. Do you remember that? So I want to say that any parameter you want to send, which is ID, that is not a number, we are not accepting it. That I want to say. That's just basic I want to say. So if you are coming to my house and you are not a doctor child, you are not allowed. That's just by the way. So now that what I'm trying to say, now I want to say, okay, if you are coming to this place, I'm going to say, okay, first I want to say var. I thought I'm going to be using more of var in ID is equal to context dot what dot request dot params. And param we get single, params is the map. Don't forget. Param is going to be just be one. It's a function. So I'm going to say params ID. Now I'm going to now say if ID, I say int dot try pass. Now what I'm trying to convert it to integer. That's what I'm trying to do now. If try pass $sign ID is none. If it is none, you cannot go. I will say return. Let me make it to be this so that you want to understand what I'm saying. I say return. Now what am I return? I'm saying response dot what dot. I will use JSON also. JSON message. Now I'm going to use our language that we're using. You can't go. Now let's say we are going to heaven. You want to go to heaven with integer. Without integer, you can't go. So you can't go with non in int. Does that make sense? I hope this makes sense. Now if it is none, like if you try to convert it, it's now none. But you cannot go. But if it is not none, you cannot come down, you can go. But this one can now be S. Now it doesn't mean that you have to be that S. I say S, you can go. Now this next, what next does is that next is going to handle the next request. The next request like next thing, what you want to do, Google, is not going to do it for you. That let me use that word like next. Next is like what you really want to do. So what you want to do, it doesn't allow you to do it, do it. So let's now make use of it. So make use of it in FlintDart is very easy. You have like several ways to make use of it, several ways. So just our request, where is it? Here, this is the param. You can just say dot like this, dot use middleware. Use middleware, which is integer. Is it integer or just int middleware? This is it. So by just saying this like this, let's come back here. Now can I see? That's not on. Let's check. It's still starting. Okay, it has started now. Now, if I come here, it worked perfectly. Can you see it worked perfectly now? But now, if I try to change this into Ademola, then you can go with non-int. Can you see? So now that's what middleware does. It does not even attack. It doesn't only get to the next where it's going to. It has stopped it and return back to it that, oh, you cannot do anywhere. I pray that this concept you understand this way. But just look at it very well. Middleware is going to stand in between your client and your server. So middleware is like the bridge. If you come here, if you do what you're supposed to do, if you pass, it allows you to go. If you don't pass, it costs like this. You can't go anywhere. Stop there. So now that's why FlintDart is very secure to even use for large application. Now the reason is that some other people use them. They do middleware that your middleware is going to your request going to touch your. Some people like you need to touch your application before you continue. No, this one is not going to touch your application at all before we stop there. So if anybody is sending wrong request, so you can even use validation, middleware as a validation. If you are sending wrong request from the beginning, you are not going to get to your controller at all. And that makes FlintDart to be secure more and more. So it won't get to your controller or get to your request at all when it will have been stopped. So I hope that makes sense to us. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Is it getting hard? Faith. Mr. Faith. Is it getting? Are you sure you are following? You are done. You are done for today, right? So if you have any question, you can ask me. I want to answer.
Now, when I ran the Flint make middleware in my terminal, it said it brought out a list of available commands.
Look at what I ran. I said flint dash dash make dash middleware.
Yes, sir, that was what I ran to exactly. And it said that I cannot run that command.
No, maybe you should do flint upgrade. It's supposed to even work anyone you are using. Flint upgrade like this. Upgrade.
Okay, sir. I tried Flint update, but it said everything is not update.
Upgrade. It's upgrade and update. What is different? So use update. Use upgrade, sorry. So you should have version 31. If the other one is supposed to work. Dash dash middleware. Check the spelling of middleware if it's correct.
Yes, sir.
This is it. Let me increase this picture. Can you see?
Okay. It was Flint upgrade I needed to do.
Yeah.
It has gone through now.
Okay. Who else have any issue?
Yes, I was thinking.